13 had been sealed for decades, ever since the incident that no one dared to speak of. When Evelyn arrived at the old boarding house on the outskirts of town, she did not believe in superstitions. She laughed when the innkeeper hesitated, handing her the key.
Are you sure you want that room?
He whispered, his eyes darting nervously towards the dark corridor. The key felt unnaturally cold in her hand. Inside, room 13 was dusty and stale, as though untouched by time. A large antique mirror dominated one wall, its surface cloudy, almost alive. Evelyn unpacked, brushed off the glass, and stared into her reflection. But the reflection stared back differently, its lips curling into a grin she did not make.
That night, she woke to whispers, slithering out of the mirror. Shapes moved behind the glass like something trapped beneath ice. The air grew colder, and when she reached out to touch it, a pale hand shot outward and gripped hers. She screamed, but no sound escaped. The reflection was no longer hers.
It stepped out of the mirror and stood over her, its smile stretching impossibly wide.
Thank you, it hissed, for setting me free.
Evelyn vanished that night, and room 13 was sealed again.
But if you stand close enough to the door, you might still hear her voice, begging you not to look in the mirror.
No one in Hollow Creek spoke of the old Graymore house after nightfall. Locals swore that it changed when the sun dipped below the hills, windows glowing from within. Though no one lived there, doors creaking open as if the house itself breathed Jacob. A skeptic by nature, dismissed these tales as ghost stories meant to frighten children. On the eve of Halloween, he entered the rotting mansion with a flashlight and a smirk. Inside, the air was heavy and damp, and the silence was broken only by the steady dripping of water somewhere deep within. As he explored, the house seemed to shift, hallways stretched longer than they should. Doors he had just passed appeared behind him. He heard footsteps pacing the floor above, though he knew he was alone. In the grand parlor stood a chair, its back to him. Slowly it turned. Though nothing touched it, a shape sat there, barely human, its empty eyes locked on him. Jacob stumbled backward, but the door had vanished. The house was no longer a place, but a trap reshaping itself with a will of its own. A voice whispered from the walls, "You opened the door. Now you will stay." When they found Jacob's flashlight days later, it lay in the dust just inside the threshold. No one dared step beyond it. The house still waits, patient as the grave, for the next soul bold enough to enter. the remote marshes of Black Hollow, travelers whispered of a figure who roamed the fog with a flickering lantern, calling lost souls deeper into the mire. They called him the Lantern Man. Though no one alive had ever seen his face, Lydia had heard the tale since childhood. Stories meant to scare children into staying home after dark. But she was no longer a child, and when her brother vanished near the marsh one autumn night, she set out to find him. The fog was thick and alive, coiling around her ankles as she walked, and the reeds whispered secrets she could not understand. Hours passed, her lantern dimmed. Then she saw another light, faint, golden, moving steadily ahead. Thomas. She called, but only silence answered. Drawn by the glow, she followed deeper, her boots sinking into the wet earth. The light grew brighter until she could see the figure holding it. Tall, draped in tattered black, his lantern swaying from a skeletal hand. His head turned slowly, and though his face was hidden beneath a hood, Lydia felt his gaze pierce straight through her.
Looking for someone.
The voice rasped, neither near nor far. Her legs froze. The marsh beneath her feet rippled like a living thing, and shapes moved beneath the water. Too many, too close. One rose from the muck beside her, pale and hollow-eyed, reaching toward her with a hand she recognized.
Thomas.
She whispered. But his lips did not move. The Lantern Man extended his free hand. All who wander must join the light, he said. And the swamp swallowed her scream. Days later, searchers found nothing but two lanterns glowing faintly in the mist, swaying side by side. Locals say the Lantern Man walks the marsh still, his light forever growing brighter, one soul at a time.